guys, today is going to be a finance video and I'm going to share specifically some things you can do to get a lot of cash fast, which I know some of us do need, especially with the random virus that just popped up out of nowhere, that's spreading like wildfire, and a lot of people have lost their jobs and the bills are still coming in, so there has to be a way to still bring money in some type of way. So today I'm going to share, these are my thoughts, my opinions. Don't necessarily have to follow them. It's just advice, personal advice. I'm going to share with you things that you can do and also things that I think you shouldn't do. So we're going to start with 5 things. It's technically 4 strong ones and then a few that I just randomly threw in there that may or may not work depending on your situation. First thing, before I even get into that, I know there have been rumors going around. Some are actually true, some have some validity to them, but I know, for example, electricity, some power companies, some light companies, and cell phone bill companies, and mortgages and rent, all of that basically. They basically said because of this coronavirus that they wouldn't make you pay for however long. So like, for example, they're giving you 2 months that you don't have to pay. What they're not telling you, more than likely, is that at the end of those 2 months, you have to pay everything all at once. So say for instance, rent. You don't want to pay rent for 2 months because you either can't or you don't want to. And your rent is $500 a month. So in 2 months, $500 a month, that's $1,000. So at the end of that 2 month period, you have to pay them $1,000. Let's go with even bigger figures. Say your rent is $2,000, which is very likely if you live in a larger city, and they're giving you 6 months where you don't have to pay. So 2,000 times 6, that's 12. So at the end of that 6 month period, you're not gonna owe just $2,000. You're gonna owe the entire amount that you haven't paid. When you think about it, it's kind of fair because you have to look at it from a business standpoint. I know some of y'all are like, screw that, I don't care about that, which is understandable. I mean, trust me, I see both sides. I'm just trying to help you guys understand why that's a thing. As a businesses, especially small businesses, need to make money. They can't go 6 months without anything. So at the end of that 6 month period, they have to get their money, even though they've given you a break in order not to pay it. So try to look at it that way. And also, consider these options I'm about to give you as far as staying on top of your bills, no matter what your financial situation is, and, as much as possible, and using that pausing your payments as a last resort. So let's get directly into my 5 tips that I recommend. By the way, this makeup look I actually filmed using toothbrushes. I'll have it linked on the screen for you just in case you're interested. It'll also be down below in case you want to check it out at the end of the video. 5 things and 5 quick ways to get a lot of cash at once. And trust me, they're all legal, so don't worry. I'm not gonna go tell you, go sell. I don't know. I'm not gonna even say in case kids are watching, but yeah. The first one, where you can probably get the most amount of money, this is particularly for homeowners, not for people who are renting, unfortunately. Sorry, I really am. But one thing you can do is take out the equity on your house. And some of you may or may not know what that is. Trust me, we just bought a house last year and there's still a lot of things I don't know about owning a home. For example, somebody asked me what's the value of your home and I couldn't tell them. I'm serious, I had no idea. I was just like, can you check Zillow? Anyway, you can take out the equity on your home. So, say for instance, you bought a $100,000 house. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible. Not even that. Say you bought a $50,000 house and you've paid, I don't know, you've been paying for a year, I'm trying to keep this in simple terms, but it's hard to do math in my head while I'm talking and all of that, but whatever. So basically your equity is how much money you paid into your house. So, for example, we've been paying our mortgage for a little over a year because we moved, almost a year because we bought the house last April. But so our equity would be all of our mortgages monthly added up until this point. And of course, I'm not going to tell you what that is because that's personal. But just to give you an idea what yours would be. So say, for instance, you pay $2,000 for mortgage. You paid it for 6 months. With a little, tweaks here and there. Say, for instance, you have $12,000 equity. It may vary a little bit because of, interest rates and things like that, but you have $12,000 equity. How you find out this specific number, you would call your lender, the people that you pay your mortgage monthly to. They'll be able to tell you how much equity you have in your home. So if you don't want to calculate it, it's impossible to calculate anyway because my calculations that I did were not the same as what our lender, had on our books, which is fine because I'm not a finance major. I'm good at math, but I don't know specifically what I'm supposed to do to calculate all of that. That's not what I do. But yeah, call your lender, see what your home equity is. And I don't think you have to take it all out. I haven't specifically done it myself, but in the event that I did need a lot of cash, that would be one of the first things I would go towards, especially because we've been in our house very recently and it wouldn't really affect anything much. Keep in mind though, if you do that, it will extend your term as far as repayment. But like I said, if you just bought your house 2, 3, 4 years ago, it's not going to make much of a difference. It's going to, extend it a little bit. But you've been in your house 20 years and you have a 30-year mortgage. You could get a lot of money, but keep in mind, you're going to be a lot longer paying it back. So I'm going to go in order of what I think is the best option down to what I recommend, but be careful, basically. The first one I'm going to recommend, which it's kind of volatile right now, honestly. The whole 401k thing. I don't have a 401k anymore. I took it out. I took it out after I left my job. I have my own savings. I don't need to put money in a 401k and have it disappear. I know it's not the time to even talk about that because a lot of people are literally suffering that right now. But if you happen to have money left in your 401k with this whole situation going on, there are usually 2 options with that. So this is one tip, but it has 2 options included. You can either do a 401k loan or you can just cash out a portion of your 401k. Now, I used to work at a job where we had Fidelity. That's one of the investment companies that offer 401ks. The 401k loan, say for instance I had $20,000 in my 401k. I can take a loan out for a certain amount. There's usually a minimum and a maximum, I believe, if I can remember correctly. The loan, you have to pay it back. So basically you pay it back to your 401k. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think it's any interest. You will have to check with your own investment company for specifics on that because all of them vary. I don't think there's any interest. You just have to pay it back in a certain period of time. But it's a good way to get, if you have a lot of money in your 401k, it's a good way to get, a loan. Now, if you wanted to take out of your 401k and you don't want to pay it back, you can just take it out like I did. Because I worked at a company, like I said, we had 401k, and it was so little to where I was like, I'm not keeping this. I mean, yeah, I just took it out. I think it was a small amount. It was like $6,000. That might be a lot to some, but to other people's 401ks, they have way more. That's why I say it's not that much. Keep in mind, if you use the take out option where you don't pay it back, the non-loan option, keep in mind there is a penalty on your income taxes for that tax year. So say you take out $20,000 without wanting to pay it back for 2020. I think it's like a 20% penalty if you're not of retirement age. It's either 10 or 20%. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, there's a penalty. So keep that in mind. You will have to pay. Uncle Sam, he's going to get his regardless. So that's tip number 1. I'm sorry. I just got a funny message. It's probably not appropriate for here. Actually, I'm going to show you guys. Because it's freaking hilarious. It's funny to me, okay? Y'all might not find it funny at all. But yeah, I just want to show y'all what I found so hilarious. The next thing you could do is look at your life insurance policy. Now, this might be a touchy subject for some. Okay, let me tell y'all how I feel about life insurance policies. You may or may not agree. Life insurance, this is how I see life insurance policy. Different people might see it different ways. I see it as giving people that you leave behind something to take care of your funeral, your, what do you call the ashes? The cremation, no matter however you decide to go. They use it to take care of that and then to take care of themselves. I'm all about thinking about the present, and presently we are in a pandemic, and presently some of you may need that money. So with certain life insurance policies, they have a cash out option. Now it's all going to be contingent on how long you've been paying your life insurance policy. So if you have it for 10 years, you may have, I don't know, depends on what your policy is and how much you pay every month. But some of those policies have cash options or cash out options. You may be able to cash out $1,000, $2,000. You have to contact your company for specific details. If you do that, that's kind of like, ifs for each one of these I'm going to give you. But again, most of us are thinking about present rather than future. So I'm just, giving you all information, all the facts, all the cons. Do what you want with it, The con of using the life insurance cash out is that you will no longer have that life insurance policy. So you have to make sure that's what you want to do before you do it. But that is another option out there to get quick cash. I don't know how quick it is, but to get a lot of cash. depending on your policy. Third option, this may very well be my favorite. I don't know why I didn't include it first. I'm sorry. My phone is gonna die. This may very well be, sorry, I have to get my charger. My phone's dying. As always. This might be my favorite option out of the three, or out of the ones that I've shared so far. Should have put this one first. So just ignore everything I said about it being in favorite to least favorite. It's just a bunch of random options, okay? Third option is to do a 0% APR cash advance. A few of you may be like, huh? And that's pretty understandable because I've only recently learned about these the past few years. So I didn't always know what they were. Okay, so basically a cash advance is an amount of cash you have available on your credit card. So say you have a credit card that has a $5,000 credit limit. You also have a specific cash advance limit. It's usually the same as your credit limit if I'm not mistaken. I know mine is. But if you have multiple credit cards, if you have one or two or three where you don't have balances, that's great because more than likely you have an available offer. And what that is, you can go into the app of whatever your credit card company is, or you can call them and see if they have any available offers for cash advances. So how that works, say for instance, again, you have a $5,000 credit limit, you have a zero balance, and they have an available offer where you can qualify for 0% APR for 12 months. What that means is that if you borrow $5,000 from that, you won't have to pay any interest. That's the 0% APR for 12 months. And 12 months is a long time. It's not a long time, but you have a lot more time to pay that, and you can use that for a lot. So I don't want people to think that you have to pay it all at once. It doesn't work like that. How it works, on your credit card, you usually have APR. If you've had your card for a certain period of time, it doesn't stay zero forever. It's gonna bump up to 3%, 4%, 5%, 6%. There's also a certain percentage APR for balance transfers and for cash advances. Usually those cash advance APRs are expensive. They're like 20%, in between 20 and 30. I think mine is like 26. If you don't pay that money back within that 12-month period, it will start accumulating a 20%, just say for example 20% interest rate. It doesn't mean you have to pay it all at once, but just keep in mind you're gonna have to pay interest on it after the year. But for the first year, you don't have to. So say for instance you borrow $5,000 and you pay $3,000 before the 12 months is up. You only have $2,000 left. So that $2,000 will get charged at the 20% APR. If any of this stuff doesn't make any sense, just let me know below. I'll try and explain it as best as I can. But that's a great option. It gives you 12 months that you don't have to borrow the entire credit line of cash. You don't. That's just an option out there. You can borrow $1,000 out of the $5,000. You can borrow $300. Just get what you need. Also, I'm gonna tell you that in a video. I don't want to confuse anybody right now. Okay, that's 4, right? Yes. Number 5 is to reduce your bills. For example, a lot of us still pay for cable. In my opinion, we don't need cable. You have Netflix, you have Hulu, you have YouTube Premium. I have YouTube Premium now. I also have cable, but that's because of my husband. He has to have TV, so whatever. Young and the Restless is not on. Bold and Beautiful is not on. Those are only two shows I watch other than Gordon Ramsay shows, all of which aren't on air, so I could care less about cable. And that's coming from a former AT&T employee. But yeah, you don't need cable. You can find out whatever you want to know, news articles, you can read on your phone. Most of us have smartphones. If you're older, you don't have a smartphone, cable is understandable. You have to keep up all of that. You can also listen to the radio. It's not a necessity. What other bills aren't necessary? I don't know. It's kind of a touchy subject because some of y'all may think certain things are necessary. For example, I have YouTube Premium and a lot of people think that's unnecessary. I don't know. It's necessary for me because I use it a lot. Spotify, yeah, I have a Spotify subscription too. I could probably get rid of if I had to. That's $10 a month. Just go through all your bills and see what all you have, what you don't really need at the moment. Remember, you can always subscribe to it later in most cases. Just check and it'll save you some money, more than you think. And then also you can ask your family for money. I wouldn't recommend that just because when you bring money and family together, it ends up splitting them apart eventually. For example, when somebody dies, guess what the first thing, before they're even buried in the ground, guess what the first thing people are worried about? It's not, oh my God, I miss her so much, I miss him so much. It's the money. Who's gonna get the house? Who's gonna get this? Who's gonna get that? Just be careful, with money and find money, family. Unfortunately, they don't go well together, so just keep that in mind if you decide to go that route. 3 tips I would like to share, just making sure it's not dying, because that's a huge possibility. I've been talking a long time, feels like. Don't put up any titles to get money. So don't put up your car title if you have one. Don't put up your home title if you have one. No title of anything, because usually those title loans are very expensive to pay back. They have extremely high interest rates, which make them a lot harder to pay back. And if you're already in a bind, you're gonna put yourself in a deeper bind doing that. Do not put off any bills if at all possible. It may seem like a good idea. You're getting 2 or 3 months of a break from paying bills. Yeah, it's a break, but keep in mind, it's gonna continue accumulating during that break time. So you're gonna need to come up with a lot of cash all at once to pay those bills off, because these people want their money. They're not trying to hear, you're struggling. I'm just being honest. Nobody cares. So take care of yourself first, because they're not gonna help you out and say, oh, you don't have to pay it all at once. No, these companies want their money. So I'm just trying to be real with y'all, so you're not in for a surprise later on. Trying to help people out as much as possible with that. I don't like to see people getting got. I mean, there's no better way to put it. Read the stimulus bill before agreeing. So before you sign up to get a $1,000 check, however much it is, read it, please. One of the stimulus bills that was supposed to, that was going through Congress and all of that, they were giving people $1,000 if you made between a certain amount, under a certain amount. However, they're not giving people anything. I mean, they weren't giving people anything. They were going to take it out of their income taxes at a later date. So it's money that had to be paid back, essentially, alone, which is dumb. Also, we're not going to get into politics in the comments as far as bashing any candidate, bashing any party or anything. For the record, I don't believe in any party. I'm in the middle. So I'm green, basically. I don't like the red side or the blue side. So if y'all want to know that, yeah, I'm green. My hair is blue. Ignore. Oh yeah, it's just dumb. And then they had the new one come out, that the other side was trying to push, saying, this and that. Still stupid, in my opinion. So just read it before you agree to it, please. Don't just say it's $1,000. Again, it may help you currently, because I did talk about present time rather than future. It may help you presently to get that $1,000, however much it is, and worry about paying it back later. Just make sure you know the facts up front. That's all I'm saying. Just make sure you know everything up front, and you're not left in the dark about any particular stipulation that may be out there for these. Also, just to summarize all 5 things I talked about as far as how to get money fast. When you get the money fast, do not, I know it's tempting, do not put it all on one bill. Matter of fact, don't even pay your bills with it. Take that money and put it directly into your savings. So whether you do the cash advance, whether you do the home equity, which I don't recommend again, whether you do the 401k, put the money, no coronavirus, I'll just clear my throat, okay? Please. Put the money directly into your savings and use it as needed. So you get laid off from your job. Hopefully that happens to no one. If it's happened to someone who's watching, I apologize. I'm praying for you. Just continue to try to keep your head up. Things will get better soon. But put it in your savings account and pay your bills as needed. Don't try to pay ahead or anything. Pay them on time, as you have been. Don't try to pay a few months at a time. Because when things go back to normal, you can take that money that's left over and put it back towards whatever it is you did. So you did a cash advance. You have $3,000 left. You can put it back towards the cash advance. And boom, you have $2,000 left to pay. Just makes it easier as far as paying these things back if you don't use it all at once, if you don't need it. It's just there for emergency money. It's not to go pay all your bills with. And then you're stuck with this big bill. Unless you have to do it that way, like you have a bill that's $10,000 that's due all at once. Like you have some type of, loan or something, and you have to do it that way, you know your financial situation. Do whatever you need to do. But yeah, I hope this video wasn't too long. I really wanted to help you guys as far as figuring out or trying to figure out finances. If you have any specific questions, specific videos you want to see, I have a student loan video coming soon. I just wanted to get this up first because this is more current event stuff. I have one coming on student loans where I'm going to talk about how to beat the student loan system. I'm going to be filming that in the near future. But if you have any other finance videos you want to see, please let me know. Rate the video, subscribe if you haven't already to my channel. If you have any specific questions about anything I mentioned in the video, ask them below. Happy to open up some dialogue. We can chat back and forth. If you're confused about anything, you want more advice on something else, just let me know. Talk to you soon. Thank you for watching.